for that. Do I need to underline that this takes a lot of planning, and lots of that planning being done at Clarence House, which is where the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall live, and where they also share that residence with Prince William and with Prince Harry. Clarence House is just really a stone's throw away from Buckingham Palace. It's been a royal residence for 170 years, and there we have a glorious view of Clarence House, Lancaster House to the left, and then St James's Palace to the right. So that's Clarence House, and that's where we'll see Harry and William emerging, I think in about, well, less than an hour now, probably about 10 past 10. All the planning has been going on since last October, last November, and for those of us who've been involved in trying to get details and information about it, we know how detailed that planning is. It's down to the last second, and Sophie's talking to someone who knows exactly how that process works. Sophie.
Thank you. I certainly am. I'm joined here by Colleen Harris, who was the former press secretary to Prince William, particularly over very difficult years, the years following his mother's death, and also when he began university. I mean, how much planning has gone into a day like this?
I can't imagine, actually. And a very short period of time since the engagement. But yes, I did join the household after Princess Diana died, actually. So a very difficult time for the household, a very difficult time for William. And our work centred around protecting him from the media during that time, so that he and Harry could have some time to grieve, I suppose, and also to develop in private.
And those were very important years, weren't they, for him? And how did you see him change from the teenager he was into the young man that he was when he started university?
Yes, in fact, yes, I joined when he was 15. But William has always been a very thoughtful, sensitive young man. So even at 15, he was very questioning. So, you know, I couldn't just say, well, I think you should do this, or I think you should do that. He'd always come back with a question, a very probing question. So he was always quite guarded and very cautious. But I think over the years, he's built a stronger relationship with the media. He's built in confidence as well. He's much more assured. And probably still a little bit suspicious of people, but has got a good crowd around him now to support him.
And that time that he was allowed and the privacy he's been afforded in the following years will probably really set him in good stead, won't it, for the role that he's got ahead and the huge spotlight, the glare.
I think so, because I think the drip approach that we took in introducing him to the media, I think it will have paid off now. So rather than having that massive onslaught that perhaps his mother had to endure, which is quite difficult, I think, to get used to very quickly, he's done it over a period of years. So he has got used to it, and he accepts now that the media has to be part of his life.
Well, he's certainly been looking very relaxed, and the few glimpses we've had of him recently. Colleen, thank you very much for joining us. Back to you.
Sophie and Colleen, thank you very much. A word about today's service, the formal service at the heart of everything, those officiating, because it follows a long-established tradition. As I mentioned, the Dean of Westminster will welcome everyone to the service. The Bishop of London, who's Dean of the Chapels Royal, a personal friend of the Prince of Wales, he will give the address. But the marriage ceremony will be conducted by the Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr. Rowan Williams. His official residence is Lambeth Palace. That's not far away either, just across the Thames. That's where he met the couple on several occasions and advised them on how they should approach today's service. And I asked Dr. Williams for his impressions, and I spoke to him just a few days ago.
I always look forward to weddings, and this is a really rather special one. And just getting to know the couple a little bit and seeing how they think about it has really been a very positive thing.
How do they strike you?
They strike me as deeply sensible, realistic, but also people with strong ideals about marriage and about other things. They haven't wanted a great kind of singing or dancing extravaganza. They've wanted something simple and clear, but they've also wanted something with obvious traditional roots and associations.
Part of that tradition in the past has been that the bride promises to obey the husband.
That's right, though of course that's been optional for quite a long time really, and it would be a rather rare wedding these days in which that particular traditional form was used, so I wasn't at all surprised that that wasn't on the cards.
We're thinking of a global audience of maybe 2 billion people, which clearly adds pressure on lots of people, including yourself.
Just a little though. I have done weddings before, even with a special one. There's something always very intimate about the important moments of a marriage, when you really are just speaking to two people. And however large the congregation, however large the global audience, essentially this is about two people making a hugely important, deeply personal commitment, and it has to be personal for them. And part of my responsibility in the service is to make it personal for them.
You describe them as a sensible young couple. Do they need advice? Have you given them some advice?
We've talked a great deal about the meaning of marriage and the meaning of their marriage in particular. Some of the obvious strains that come from being in the public eye all the time. But, as I say, they have thought through what they want from the service and what they want in their marriage. They do have a commitment to the priority of being there for each other, a very simple and strong personal commitment. And it's that kind of strength and realism which has impressed me in conversation.
It's been traditional in the past for archbishops and for deans of Westminster to give a message of welcome to people across the world who will be joining the service. What would be your message of welcome to them?
My message is that every wedding needs everyone who's looking on to be part of it. It needs everyone who's looking on to affirm with the couple what matters to them, to promise in their hearts whatever support they can give. And I think also to look at their own lives and say, well, how can we do a little bit more towards the ideal that they're trying to live out?
Archbishop, nice to talk to you. Thank you very much. Dr. Rowan Williams talking to me just a few days ago. Not long to go before we see some very important movement and action at the Goring Hotel. That's the residence selected by the Middleton family for their overnight stay. That's where the bride will be departing at about 10 to 11. But before that, of course, we'll have the bride's mother